All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining here. So what we're going to do here tonight is we want to really go through a demo of what the tech support stack is and some of the upgrades have been so that everyone knows how to use it as efficiently as possible. We did make an additional investment in tech support, and we'll go over some of the updates that we have here. Um, and then if there's we're going to have Mario on here. So he's our head of tech support. Mario has been consulting with me for Blue Sun for better part of, I think, almost 3 years now. So he's this super techie guy. So all these little things like our trade show funnels and things like that, when we're trying to make something come to life, like he's the one that knows all the code and how to get things across the finish line. And it's just been really great working with him. So he's been doing some other things, and then we've been talking, and so now we've got him back on our team, which we're excited about. And he's probably one of the leading experts in the software that we built Bluesun off. So I want to show you kind of the updates that we made in tech support, and then he's going to record a video that's probably going to be, we'll see how long it is, but maybe 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to have that be an asset that we can use. So anyone using Bluesun can then watch that again at any time that they want to. Okay.
Yeah, and so we can just take this out of the recording from the Zoom. So just send it to me and I'll chop it out. But welcome everyone. Again, like Steve said, my name is Mario, and we've been working together for quite some time. I've actually been one of the people that you've probably interfaced with at some point during your time working with Doc Steve. And I've actually hopped on Zoom with a number of you previously as well. So something that I'm, super familiar with. Blue Sun helped to build the platform itself, helped to guide my support department to be able to service you guys as best as possible. While we don't always get the answer right the first time, it happens. We will always endeavor to do our best and make sure that ultimately you do get the right answer and the help that you need. So firstly, I'd like to talk a little bit about what does that support look like in terms of being able to access various things. And I'll start sharing my screen here in a second. But who here, let's start with this. Who here has kind of had asked questions previously to my support team? And what kinds of questions have you guys been asking? I have obviously a list internally, but I want to hear from some of the users on the call. So feel free to use the react emoji in the bottom center with the heart icon. Just click on that react emoji and raise your hand, and I'll call on you, Akisha.
Okay, really big question. Not big, but is the chat bot working now?
Yes.
And if, okay, great. Who do we now ask for to set up the email in the back end?
So the email on the back end will be handled by the onboarding team. So if you need to get re-onboarded specifically for the email setup on the back end, we can definitely facilitate you going through that.
Okay, how do I go about that? Because right now, currently in like the training, it's like click on chat, ask for and Adrian and ask him to set up XYZ. But every time I did that all last week, I kept getting a error message. So how are you going about helping me set up this? What do I
Yeah,
have to do to set
absolutely.
up the email?
So I'll have Doc Steve take a note to put that in with my team, and someone will reach out to you over email or over whatever the best communication method to reach out to you. And that'll happen in the next like day or two.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So Akish, what we did is we switched from a tech support team to a new one, and so I've got to update some of those the onboarding videos. So we're encouraging people moving forward just to make it easier for people. My original goal with this was to make this as cost effective as possible and really have people set it up on their own. But the back end software is always being updated as well, so things aren't always lining up, and it's difficult to for me to keep those things updated because I want to focus on, helping you guys and more executive things. And even with the onboarding, we know that some people are more comfortable going through that than others, even when it is set up right. And then if one thing isn't done right, it's hard for that person to know if it's corrected or not. So what we're doing now is we now have an entire onboarding team. There is a small fee to do that, but we're encouraging people. They can still go through it themselves, but we're encouraging people to just go through the do the onboarding. I think it's like 197 we're charging for it, which covers everything gets set up for you and it gets tested, and then that way it saves people time and money and aggravation trying to figure it out on their own. So at first I wanted to do it at no cost, but the feedback that I've been getting from everybody is like, hey, I'd rather just pay someone whatever to do it for me.
Okay, great. My second question is, I'm having extreme difficulty, and there are people who have been asking me, who I'm sending the link out to get the right time zone and email notifications for these daily Prism conversations that are happening. I've tried to get on these calls 4 times now. I have somebody else try twice yesterday. He tried both ones. Email notifications are off timing. I get on when I think it is. I like the back end says it's Mexican time, but it's not. And so I'm not quite sure what's happening in the scheduling system.
I'm going to tell you how to fix that really easy. That's an easy fix. So the calendars for the ongoing events are actually tied to Eastern time. So they're tied to your business profile. So the way that you want to have this set up is in your business profile, have that set to Eastern time, but then have your personal user account tied to your time zone. So that way the meeting times are tied to the business calendar and business time zone. So Get Healthy USA exists in Eastern time. So all of those messages are tied to that Eastern time zone. And then your personal calendars, when you're sharing links for people to schedule with you, those are going to be your user calendar, and that would be your personal time zone.
Right. And so we can definitely walk through that a little bit further on the call. I'm happy to kind of go through and clarify some of that stuff. These are the types of questions that the new support team that I brought in are primed to answer. So just a little bit of perspective and background. Previously, our support team was roughly 75 to 90 people, and they're stationed all around the world. They were in like 5 or 8 different countries. But one of the challenges we identified is that 2 things: there weren't enough of them because there are quite a few Blue Sun users, and the variance in time zone wasn't quite enough. And then on top of that, we didn't support enough languages, because really the only languages that we supported previously were English. So we are now moving into supporting additional languages as well. So just one of the cool updates, we have about 225 people on the new tech team that are all well versed in Blue Sun and everything to do with Blue Sun systems. So those people are going to be your front line of defense. They consist of tier 1, 2, and 3 technicians. Tier 1 technicians are who you're going to interface with over the chat support. We have turned off the AI functionality for the time being because I recognize that probably what you were experiencing, Akisha, was it was a little bit buggy. That's on me for deploying that a little bit early. That was a conversation Steve and I had around wanting to try and offload some of the time constraint that you guys were experiencing to give you more immediate answers, because the AI, when it works really, really well. It's just a matter of we got inundated with requests, and it actually basically exceeded our rate limit on being able to service those requests via the AI. So we turned off that function for the time being, and it's going to go straight into human support. The average wait time currently with Blue Sun users is anywhere from like 1 to 5 minutes, which is actually much faster than most tech support companies. The big difference between this tech team and the last tech team from a timing standpoint is that while the delay may be a little bit longer for the initial chat to pick up, the speed of the responses of that agent are going to be significantly faster because my agents are only servicing a smaller number of Bluesun customers per concurrent session than they were previously. So you have to wait a little bit longer on the front end, which is totally fine. You can keep doing what you were doing. But on the ongoing conversation, you're going to notice that those responses are much, much snappier. So really quick, let's hop into Bluesun and let me share my screen. I'm currently logged in as Amanda Bickford, so just ignore all of this. It's I put in some demo data and things like that, but what this is you'll be able to see up here in the top right corner, you have your learn about this dashboard. This is for new Bluesun users that maybe are not necessarily familiar with the various functions. What this does is it walks you through step by step every aspect of the dashboard and the reporting, things like that. So you can even go into, for example, sites. And if you have questions about funnels, you would click this and it will step you through every area on the screen, explaining what all of the different buttons do. You can at any time close that guide, start over, or return to the guide. It will actually prompt you to take specific actions so you can play around in the system and get familiar with it. The really important part that makes this tech team different is we actually have built out our own tech support software. So previously, my last tech team was using a kind of a hodgepodge of different softwares, and you'd probably notice that the widgets would disappear. You just wouldn't have support some days, and other days you would. That wasn't because Dr. Steve couldn't pay his bills. It was actually because the software was fundamentally flawed. So one of my core requirements in building this new team that Doc Steve and I have put together is that we wanted to have our own in-house software. This means that all of your communications, your tickets, your chats, the knowledge base, everything about that is going to route through my tech team's new software that we built. And it is very, very well tested. I made sure that we went through in a bunch of demo agencies. We had people come in and test the system. We actually deployed this to a smaller number of Bluesun users who are in our beta group and had them test out the software in advance to make sure that they didn't notice any bugs. We didn't tell them they were testing new software. We basically just rolled it out and we didn't experience any bugs. So we're pretty confident after a couple months of testing that everything is good to go. What you're going to do when you first log into this, the support software is or the Bluesun systems in general, is you're going to click this little chat widget and you're going to click messages. Messages is going to pop up with a form that the only change you're going to want to make is you need to replace this email address right here with your real email address. Okay, because this is going to be how you get, it can be a Gmail address, it can be literally anything. This is how you're going to get communications. You're then going to put in the account issues, the name of your account, which is your name, and what specifically area-wise you're struggling with, and then you hit submit. That's it. We are working on pre-filling some of this and asking a little bit more of dynamic questions as opposed to the what issues are you facing and things like that. So it'll be a little bit more interactive. That's probably going to be released by the end of this year. But for the time being, it is this very simple form that you're going to fill out. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and hit submit because if I did that, it would disturb a technician and they're actively working on accounts for everyone that's not on this call. But you do have the ability to do that 24/7, 365. One of the big upgrades that I made in enhancing the size of our tech team and also in this new software is our technicians actually have the ability to view what's on your screen live while you're chatting with them. So this often negates the need for Zooms. It negates the needs for Loom because all they have to do is click a little button on the back end. They mark it up with their arrows and boxes and hit send, and it will send you a screenshot that you can blow up and see all of the information about what the technician is telling you to change. Now, let's say that you just simply, it's not enough and you're not familiar with what they're talking about, or something does, in the very unlikely event, look different on your screen. You do have the ability to request a loom. The technicians are very well versed in English. They are all over the world. And when I say all over the world, we have one in Tasmania. So we literally have them all over the world. They are predominantly US, UK, and Latin American based, and Canadian based. But we do have some in a variety of other offshore locations. Again, there's about 225 employees, so they are all over the world. With that said, if the loom doesn't cut it, you got the screenshot, you got the loom, you're getting the chats, and you need a Zoom. Previously, you had to wait anywhere from 2 to 4 business days for a Zoom slot to open up. Now you can request same day Zooms. All you have to do is say, hey, look, I tried the chat support. I tried the Loom. I got your screenshot. Can we hop on a quick Zoom? And usually within the same day, they will be able to facilitate a Zoom meeting with you. Now, what I do ask is that you be respectful of everyone's time, because I know that a lot of people's initial reaction is to say, hey, let me just jump on Zoom really quick. And that's going to be the way that I can solve this problem the fastest. The honest truth is that, one, you're not going to get a transcript necessarily immediately of that and be able to reference it later. And two, by occupying that Zoom slot without trying the other options first, oftentimes that is it's not really as good of a learning opportunity, in my opinion. And it doesn't give you as much troubleshooting and kind of that awareness of what you're clicking through in the CRM. It also means that you're occupying a slot for someone who genuinely doesn't understand what the technician was talking about on the Loom or the screenshots. So if possible, I just ask that you do try the process first, and then they will hop into a Zoom with you if you so need it. And it looks like Dr. Joe has a question. So Dr. Joe, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. So just as a recap, widget, click messages, enter your email. Your name is your account name. It's going to go to a screen share. The person's going to mark up what you should do. If that doesn't work, you do Loom. If that doesn't work, you do a Zoom within the same day, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is it their Zoom link that we jump on, or do we give them our Zoom link, or is it something
They're going to send you a Zoom link.
Okay. And also a little bit of feedback on the Loom. The gentleman answered me the other day, but he spoke very fast and it was quick, and I couldn't access the Loom after it was gone. Is there any way to have it recorded in a chat somewhere we can access it? Or you can't exit the screen because then it all gets wiped away, right?
You should be able to access the Loom in perpetuity, but I will check with my tech team, and if there's a setting on our account that someone misflagged that's causing that to bomb, then I'll happily get that corrected for you.
All right. I mean, I was able to slow it down and replay it a few times, but he seemed like he cut it off a little bit sooner than the last part, and it kind of left me hanging. But I appreciate you doing this. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. And all this feedback, guys, is really helpful for us to hear. You will get CSAT requests occasionally from my tech team. Be honest. Don't be brutal and don't be mean. But
CSAT, customer satisfaction, is that the lingo?
Yes, sir. Customer satisfaction.
I learned that's a new one for me too, Joe.
CSAT. Okay, thank you.
So you will get customer satisfaction surveys. I do ask that you be honest and don't just say the sky is rosy and the technician was awesome if there were things that could be improved. But that doesn't mean,
right.
Be rude, right? So use your best judgment and be professional about it. I get all of those feedbacks. I personally review those feedbacks with the technicians. It does impact their performance scores and everything else, which is important because I like a team that operates at maximum performance. That said, it is also something that we take very seriously when there are bigger concerns. I'll make sure that Doc Steve gives you guys my contact information if you do need to reach out to me via email. And I'll have my assistant prioritize any urgent requests of something and I have full visibility into all of the chat transcripts, all of the Zoom recordings, all of the Looms, everything else. So if there is a situation where you just honestly felt really frustrated, drop me a line and we will get it squared away, and I will make sure that you are taken care of. What I want is everyone to ensure that they are using the chat support and the Zoom support to its fullest capabilities, not bothering Dr. Steve with getting inundated with tech support requests and allowing my team and myself to handle and field those requests. If you do need to escalate something for whatever reason, you feel like I dropped the ball and I didn't handle something, absolutely have Doc Steve looped into the conversation. There's no problems there. I am the first one to admit that I either did something wrong or I dropped the ball. That said, I do want my team to be your first line of defense, and then me to be your second line of defense, ultimately landing only in Doc Steve's lap so that he can make this product the best product for you guys long term. And also, Michael Cook, your dog is adorable.
And my goal, guys, is to have this set up where you rarely or never even have to contact tech support to use the fundamentals of BlueSun. Right. So, we're all working together here to create something that's very affordable and streamlined for you. But we're also keep in mind, we're all on the same team working together to keep things affordable for everybody. So we're not Apple, where we're all running like these big software things. BlueSun is completely customized. And so Mario's tech support team is learning where people are getting stuck and what questions are coming up. That way, we're not just addressing the same things over and over again, but we're going back and getting to the root of the issue and saying, okay, how can we prevent this question from coming up so it doesn't even become an issue for you guys? I mean, you guys have worked with me long enough. You know that that's my philosophy in doing things, is that, get to the root of things so that, we don't have to keep dealing with the same stuff over and over again.
And it's also really worth noting, Steve, and this is something that you and I have talked about previously, is the cost of running an operation like this and the value that it provides to the BlueSun customers, the BlueSun team. I was looking at comparable software platforms like Salesforce and Zoho and all these other platforms, and average cost with the amount of contacts that most of you have and the amount of and your user seat plus active use and their priority support was anywhere from $499 to $1,000 a month. It's expensive, especially to run a 225 person tech team plus overhead plus managers and build out the software and customize the ongoing developments, everything else that we're doing. So just bear that in mind when you guys are pitching this to people and you're talking about it. The value that you're getting is incredible. And Doc Steve has really pushed my team to make this as cost efficient as possible for your team to be able to maximize those results. It looks like Miss Susan has a question. So go ahead, Susan.
Yes, and I apologize for getting on late. My brain was not thinking Eastern for some whatever reason. So, is this call being recorded so that we can go back and look at everything and listen to everything?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all. So are there any other questions before we're about 2 minutes out from where I have to turn it back over to Steve? I promised him I wouldn't take any more than 30 minutes. So are there any other questions that anyone has that I can help you with?
What's the most common question that you're getting, trouble that we're having? So if we talk about it, most people get served at one shot.
The most common questions usually around email setup is generally the most common question. And Steve and I are working on some bulletproof ways to improve that. That's really the most common, which reminds me, Steve, I actually had an epiphany last night, which is what woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, on how we can enhance the email setup service. So you and I need to talk about that using forms and some API stuff. But that's really one of the big things that I think we've found people get confused with. And then on top of that, it's just general overcomplication of what they're trying to do and not trusting that the system works. That's another big challenge that we get. People come in and they try and question everything, or they say, oh, I found a competitor who's $5 cheaper. What's the difference? And the big thing that we've been able to proudly say is that nobody can compete with what we offer. Like, and if they are competing with what we offer, chances are they just borrowed some things from what we were doing. But generally speaking, the tech support team that I have under my belt, my background in the system, my background in software development, Steve's background in business operations, the medical space, everything that he is an absolute genius at tactically, we have baked into Blue Sun. So we just need people to have the confidence that, like, trust the process, don't get frustrated. And as long as you don't get frustrated, the answers are easy.
I just want to say that it's easy for people who are well versed and technical, like
True, very
you are,
true.
but when the biggest frustration I have is like, hey, just go on there and play around with it. I mean, my hat's off to Steve. He went ahead and learned this whole brand new skill set, and you do this all day behind a computer. For us, we're a little flat-footed, so I'm glad we're doing this where we can interface and find out what our challenges are, and make it a little bit smoother so we can use the capabilities of the system that you guys put together for us. So appreciate it.
So how can I better? So I'm going to go ahead and take 2 more minutes of time, Steve, 3 more minutes of time. Um, Doc Joe, how can I better facilitate that not happening?
Just thinking about the things that we're going to be doing most and learning how we can do it easiest, I guess. Like, for example, the other day I wanted to have a trigger, an automation for a survey that was done, something specific like that. But I think most of us are just contact, entering, and then we're going to be doing tags, and then we're going to be doing group text, and then group emails. The major functions we should be able to do 80% of what it's capable, as best we can. There'll be the 20% that we still have to learn individually. But I think that, like, that's why I asked, what are the biggest questions we have? It's the email. So he's addressing that by having the onboarding done and getting it out of the way, and then that's all set up going forward. But the fact that you were going to have live Zoom after the screenshots in the Loom, I'm happy with that. It's frustrating, but we're frustrated. It's like someone's hungry, and you in a restaurant, they're hangry, but you just address the issue, and then everything kind of clears up. And here, there's a frustration. Technical support is either they're not tech savvy or they're not getting the technical support they need. So it's kind of like differentiating between the user competency versus the inefficiency of or a glitch in the system, if that makes any sense.
So I have a question for you and something to propose that I think may help.
Mhm.
What if we did like a maybe, and I haven't talked to Doc Steve about this, so I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, but what if we did something like a bi-weekly standing call on like a Monday or a Wednesday evening outside of working hours where you guys could hop on and ask the questions with someone like me who is an expert in the CRM? Would that be helpful? Is that an okay time window? I don't know if I can commit to weekly just because I'm literally on Zoom from 3 a.m. until 11 p.m. most days. So, but is that something that would be helpful, do you think?
Yeah, I think that people, if they accrue the things they're having issues with during the week and then have bullet points, we're doing that in another capacity with some of our business operations so we can kind of address that. But if you had the ability to do that with us so we can kind of, go through it all at one shot and we all benefit at the same time, I think that works.
Okay, cool. I will talk to Dr. Steve about putting that together
All right.
and see what we can come up with time-wise. We may send out a little survey that just has kind of, what times work for everybody. And what we'll take a look at our contact database and see what time zones you're in. And then we'll go from there.
Thank you.
And Joe, also, there's two different aspects of the software. There's using the software, right? Using the CRM and using it to build your PharmaNext Get Health USA business. And then there's the developer side of things. And I think that we want everybody to get really good at the fundamentals of using the software so you can leverage it to grow your business. Developing things is a whole nother animal. And I'm considering even removing some of those tabs there so people aren't getting distracted with that. But then for people that do want to develop things and have the patience and tenacity to do it, like a Mike Cook, that we can independently turn that on for him. which I think we can, right, Mario? We can turn off the automations and sites and turn it on for individual users. Because what I want to do is I kind of left all the features on, or most of the features on, for everybody. And because some of the features you have to get to like add your domain and so forth, but we're looking at maybe, okay, can we just simplify the software so it's not as overwhelming?
Yep, exactly.
And then the things that are going to be used, like some of these, like these scanning funnels and so forth, Joe, these are things that if you see that this is something that can be used for the entire group, like for scanning events, then we can then develop it we can develop it on our end, and then we can push it as an update so everybody has access to it. Because I mean, the bottom line is we're all in the same business, we're all doing the same things, but we have different skill sets. So if there's we don't want to overdevelop things, but if there's something that it can be highly useful, that's going to drive a lot of volume for a lot of people, like scanning events, then we can that's what we're doing with Deborah, is we're prioritizing what are some of those things that we want to build, as an upgrade to the software. And that way the burden's taken off every individual from having to replicate that and spend time doing things that aren't revenue generating.
Well, that scan event form that we did is basically a digitized version of the scan assessment form we have, and it's right there in front of you, and you know where to go from, once they do that. So yeah, we will definitely, I think if we all kind of come together and see what tools would benefit all of us, then we can come up with something and have it accessible to everyone.
Yeah, we were tinkering with that, like the trade show funnel, right? That was something we used on a small scale, and then we refined that a little bit, and then we launched it to everybody to have access. What we don't want to use is launch it to everybody when it's not refined and half baked, and then what it does is it ends up overloading us with more tech support issues. So want to kind of move things forward and then push it out to everybody once it's done. So usually what I like to do is either build it on my own or build it with a few other people, get a few people using it, and then once we all say, hey, we're using it, it's working, then we can say, let's now make it available to everybody. Okay. Susan.
Yes, I was curious, and this probably is one of those tech support questions, but when we made the main website, and then I made a copy of it so I could do my stuff with my logo and all that kind of stuff. I noticed that today, actually, the only two tabs that actually work is home and store. And so I didn't know because I noticed that the new one had an update of November. Does it push to mine, or do I have to redo something, or?
Yeah, so I do not recommend taking the Get Healthy USA site that we developed and then copying it, because then you're on your own at that point. You're not going to get any updates. All your links and everything are going to break. So what were you trying to do specifically, Susan?
Well, I think the guy that I spoke to initially when I was doing my onboarding was like, I needed to make a copy so that I could then add my picture and my logo and all of that, so that when an update came, it wouldn't erase everything and I would have to go back in and redo it all. So
how long ago was that, Susan?
Geez.
Was it more than 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Oh yeah.
Okay, they shouldn't have been telling you that, because Blue Sun is actually set up where you don't have to do any of that. Like that was a lot of the things that I was hashing out to figure out to make it easier for everybody. So all you have to do is, if you set up your site correctly, your bio, your image, your brand, like all that stuff automatically gets added into it. So you probably went through the chat widget and they were probably telling you to do it.
Well, I talked to somebody, like I Zoomed them.
Yeah.
We had meetings, but I mean, that's fine. I just probably will need some help to undo that then.
Yeah, you actually can just delete that site. You don't need to do that. So Mario, one of the things we've got to make sure that the new tech support team knows, so we don't have that issue like we had with Susan, is when they're teaching people how to use it, that they're going off of an SOP and they understand that everything's being pushed through a snapshot that's getting overwritten and it's tied to the custom values, so that they're not, because normally, I mean, businesses are taking a template and then they're remodeling it and doing it on their own. Yep. The way we have it set up is,
yeah.
I mean, Mario, do you see a lot of agencies setting things up like the way we did? Because I haven't seen any other use cases from any other agencies that I spoke.
No, literally none. Literally none. But I mean, my tech team, again, we are experts in Bluesun, and I've trained them on all of this. So that's a simple modification of our internal documentation to address that, Steve. So you and I just need to hop on and get with probably Tala and make sure that is very clear, because in this new software, again, the benefit to this new software is as soon as someone from Bluesun chats in, my tech team, when they pick it up, it will show the SOP right next to their chat.
Yep. So Mario, that's where we just need to make sure that the tech team understands that the support that they're doing within Bluesun is kind of different than what is the standard out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So Susan, we can get that corrected for you.
Okay, thank you.
Mario, what does Susan need to do to get things for your team to help her get set up with her website? Because we don't want people cloning the websites and then trying to redo things, or even doing any changes to the websites. I mean, we could turn off the website feature, but I don't think there isn't a way to lock out a website from someone redeveloping it or anything, right? Other than turning off the tab.
Yeah, let me take a look at that, and I'll definitely let you know.
Okay. All right. What other questions do you guys have? Okay, so in summary, what we've got now is we've got a wizard that you can walk through and learn what the different buttons and so forth do in the software. So there's these self-guided tours now. Again, don't feel like you need to learn everything. Just, we don't want you guys to have to think that you have to learn how to build a funnel, how to build a website, how to build an automation. Those things are already built for you. Really, all you need to do is learn how to use the CRM, learn how to use the back office. Is anyone not familiar with the back office page? Raise your hand if you're not. Lawrence, anybody else? Okay. So maybe we'll take a few minutes here to walk you through that, because that's more on the development side that I did as far as like workflows to help you guys do your prospecting. Mario, I know you've got to get going here in a little bit. Do you want to, I mean, we can grab the recording of the walkthrough that you did, or was that kind of the recording that you wanted to do earlier on?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
we're good.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions for Mario or comments? Joe?
I'm just very impressed with the shirt. You're getting a lot of usage out of it. You got a couple months here.
I got these. I found an Amazon seller that has like 100 variations of. I love Christmas.
So does my wife, and so do my kids. So
all year long, buddy. I was in Thailand and the Philippines like 3 months ago in the middle of summer, rocking Christmas shirts. Like, it's my jam, man.
I mean, you're the reason why they set up Christmas trees like at the end of August at Costco. It's you. It's your fault.
100%, dude. I love Christmas. I'm all about it. I already set up my decorations.
I'm sure you did. Cool. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it, Mario. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Mario. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, guys. So I think, and again, we're all going to learn this together. So as you guys are giving feedback to our tech support team, those tickets that get reviewed, and then we can update things within there. And then the tech support team then also learns how to support us better as well, just because everything is so customized within Bluesun. All right. So we're going to show you this, and then we'll jump off here, guys. We don't need to stay on much longer. So what we did here in Bluesun is we basically created a back office. So everything you need to use the software and to use it for marketing and growing your business is all in this back office. So think of this as this is your private office. Don't ever give this out to any prospects. This is just for you to use. The URL is always going to be your website /office. And what I would suggest doing, have you guys ever like wanted to share your calendar link and you were trying to type in the calendar and then you got like a typo and it was a dead link, or you're wondering where things are and you're going through your website? So what I would do is take this URL and save it to your home screen on your iPhone. Okay. That way you have a quick reference for it. And then all you have to do now is once you're on this page, all you can do now is these are all just buttons that you can share the websites that they go to. So if you're prospecting, and then you can also sign into your CRM too. So your entire website, this entire ecosystem is directly integrated with a CRM so that it creates contacts and you can manage things and do everything on the back end. So this will take you to the page to sign into your CRM. You know that you're on your page here because it says My Office for Steve Moore. Everybody's back office is different. So my links go to me and go to my CRM and go to my webpage. When you log into your site, your links are unique to you. Akeisha, you have a question?
Yeah, some of the links are going to a Google empty page. Are we updating this landing page, or
which link specifically?
Specifically, the one that I just clicked on was the how to enroll a new scan operator.
Okay.
That goes to a Google page. Requested does not exist.
Okay. That we probably just need to fix that link, but also that's all changing with Prism here very soon. So I think what happened is there is just a broken link because on the back end of these file management, it connects to my computer. And then we were using Dropbox and we switched to Google Drive. So there may just be a broken link there because I think there's a duplicate database on the back end. But anything that is broken, you're going to report to Deborah Crystal. And Deborah Crystal is one of the affiliates on our team. She's going to help manage those priorities of things that need to get fixed.
How does one receive her contact information?
Are you in our Get Healthy USA for Affiliates Facebook page?
I think I tried to, but because my Facebook doesn't attach to my husband's account, I think I have not been approved.
Oh, okay. So you've requested to be in there?
Can I like email her specifically, be like, this is the account I'm under, but I'm this face because I do the back end?
No, just send her a message and just say that I want to report an issue with Blue Sun.
Oh, sorry, what's her name? Because I'm not in the group. I'm not approved in the group yet.
Okay, let me see if you're in here. Hold on one second, Akeisha. So have you been are you waiting to get approved in here?
There's so many.
You're in Ryan's group, right? Yeah. Okay, can you connect with Ryan and he'll get you connected to the Facebook group and get you admitted into it?
I'll ask him to text the person to admit me. I think I did click on it. I think he did give me that link. Thanks,
okay.
Ryan.
He's on here. He's on here right now, actually.
The name of the account doesn't attach to my name, and I understand that, so.
Okay.
But her name's Deborah.
Deborah Crystal.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Or you know, can somebody else? I know that was reported before, and that's why we're running this. Mike, do you mind reaching out to Deborah and just have her add that to that link, or to the Blue Sun list of things to do?
What are we adding? I'm sorry.
How to it's right. It's right here, getting started, how to enroll a new scan operator.
And what do we want to do with that?
The link's broken, it just needs to be fixed.
All right, we'll do.
Okay. All right. So this back office here, again, these are all the links that you can share. You can sign into your CRM here, so you always know where to go there. So the first thing is the basics. So everything in the black are the basics. These are the things you're going to use the most. So if you want to get to your website, you just click on this link and it just loads your page. Okay, so this just takes you to your website, and it takes you to the page without lead capture. So there's a lot of these pages are what are called gated with a lead capture page, meaning someone needs to fill out a form in order to get into that page. And the reason for that is so you can collect their contact information, right? And then it adds their contact information to the CRM, and then it tracks every page that they visit. So now, and when they submit those forms, the system will notify you that you have a new lead or someone filled out a form. So you can now, follow through with that person. Whenever you get those notifications, that means someone's on your site, and be a good, might want to consider reaching out to them.
Does it notify you via email or?
So there are 3 different types of notification. There's an email notification, a text notification, and an in-app notification. So there's an app you can download called Lead Connector.
Okay.
And those notifications come in there. We don't send text notifications for everything because that becomes annoying. So the ones that are texting to you are the most urgent ones, like if someone fills out a survey that they've expressed interest in the business.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if we go through here, you can get to your web page. Now, we have special events here. So this was from October 8th. So just ignore this, right? This was a past event. So I put it here just so it was at the top here and you guys could get access to it. Then you can go to your main site here. So again, this goes to your main site with the lead capture page. So this is just your site. And then when someone fills this out, it gets them into the website so they can look around. So sometimes people are going on here, they watch the video. So make sure to instruct your prospects to fill this out to get into the site. And that the contact information only goes to you. Okay, the next thing here is on-demand business briefings. So these are the weekly business briefings that we do. So this is a form here. Someone fills this out. Actually, I'm sorry. These are the recorded ones. So when someone fills this out, and again, if you ever want to bypass the lead capture page, you would just put the word go in front of this here. So if you look at websites, this is the subdomain, this is the domain, and then after the / is what's called the path. So you can always bypass that page by putting the go in front of it. So again, if you want to share a business overview with somebody, you're going to take this on-demand business briefing and you're just going to copy this and share it with them. You can share it with them within BlueSun, or you can just share it with them by text or email any way you want to. You're just going to share them this link. And then when they fill out this form, it will then allow them to choose which business presentation they want. So they can watch one for distributors. This is one for primary care providers, anti-aging, eye care, or AI. And so you're just going to instruct them to say, go fill out the form, go to distributors. And now you're going to ask them to go through these 3 steps here and ask them to select step 3 when they're done and fill out that survey to give you feedback so you can be prepared for your next call. So to walk you through this, what I would do here is, let's say that I'm talking to Mike Cook and I said, and Mike has expressed interest in wanting to learn more. I'm going to say, Mike, we actually did a webinar not too long ago that we're able to record. If you'd like, I could send you a recording of it. Mike's going to say, that would be great. I'm going to say, okay, I'll shoot a text to you right now. And I'm just going to take this URL and text it to Mike. And then I'm going to say, Mike, fill out this form and then select the distributor webinar if that's the one I want him to watch. And then go through the 3 steps there in their entirety. And then make sure they do step 3 once you've watched the webinar in its entirety. There's just a few questions there to give me some feedback, and I'll look forward to talking with you after you watch it. Do you have some time to watch it now? And Mike will say, sure. I say, great. It'll take you about an hour. I'll give you. Why don't we schedule a call to talk at 8 p.m. tonight? Mike will say, great. Right. I might even share with him the site and walk him through the process, while he's on the site. Now, if it's someone on LinkedIn that wants to see it, I will send them a message that says, I'll put the link there. And I said, make sure to go through the first 3 steps and then fill out the survey in step 3. And then I'll look forward to talking with you. So I'll literally type out what specific instructions on what they want them to do. Otherwise, they won't do it properly. Getting this survey is key because it gives them an opportunity to tell you what their interest level is. And it makes your follow-up calls so much better. And then always have a follow-up call scheduled. Don't just send it to someone and just leave it out there and expecting them to get back to you. Always schedule your next step with them.
On that note, the events page, since it was embedded, Dan McDyer's great interview was embedded. You can't send someone that direct link, so they have to go to the events page. FYI, I don't know if anyone else has tried to send that specific recording. And yeah, the Facebook for me.
What do you mean send it? Like send it on YouTube?
Yeah, if you want to send someone a specific recording, like so you have an orthopedic doc or you have a GYN and you want to send them the specific one.
Yeah. So we moved away for YouTube because YouTube has all the commercials and all that other stuff on there based on the request there. So what I would do is send them to the events page and then instruct them on which one to watch.
Okay. I've done that before. That's great. Okay. And yeah, it's hard for me specifically to find other people on Facebook to invite them to the community because I have 80,000 followers on Facebook. I have so many friend requests and messages and notifications. It's a complete roll in the dice if I can actually find something to get someone to get them into that group. That's why I'm excited about the community coming on board, because for me, that makes things a lot easier to get people access to the community.
Yeah. I'm excited to get that announced, get that launched too. Okay, so we talked about how to share an on-demand business briefing. These are available 24/7. We have the Prism funnel. So if you click on this, you then just copy this page and you just share it with somebody. It's the same process here. And so they'll fill out this form, and that will get them into the to watch everything. Now, if you go down here, we have our weekly live events. So you can read this: live events, recruiting funnels, Wednesdays at 8 p.m., your personal registration pages. Share these pages to register prospects. A new contact will automatically be created in your BlueSun CRM. What happens now is you just open this up. So let's say you have somebody that wants to join the webinar tomorrow night with Dr. Scalia and Mike Cook. You would just take this page and share it with them, and then instruct them to register. The way this is set up, because this is a weekly webinar, the webinars are every Wednesday night. So they would just select the night that they want to join. It's always going to be at 8 p.m. And then they just fill out the form and hit save my seat. And then it will send out reminders, and it will notify you of everybody that registers for that webinar so that you can then engage with them and follow up with them. Remember that this thing isn't just completely automated. This thing is here to support your efforts. And so whenever anyone registers for a webinar, that would be someone that you want to reach out to and call and follow up with them if you don't already have a follow-up scheduled. And then Akeisha, when we change that business profile, which we can do here, and actually, why don't we do that right now? So Akeisha, what name is your accountant? You're on mute.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up my back end. Under Clayton.
Okay, so, and this is if anyone has the issue where the meeting times are not correct. What you would do is go into settings, and then in the business profile, So this is the business profile, the time zone. You always want that to be Eastern time, because this is, and so we're just going to go into here.
I thought I followed your instructions for a T. I had 3 screens going, watching your videos, setting everything up. So
I may need to make an adjustment there because it may have been an outdated video, but we've got Eastern time here now. Okay. Then we're just going to hit update, and that will fix that. And then in the My Staff, that's going to be your personal calendar. So now they move this stuff around. Okay, I'm just going to select the calendar here for you.
User availability.
There it is. Thank you. So that would be your personal calendar. Okay, so that's set up correctly then.
Okay.
All right, so that'll fix that issue.
I will try it for tomorrow's call. Thank you.
I promise you it's fixed. The way this is designed is that when it's set up right, everything's designed where we're not chasing down bugs and stuff like that. It was quite a bit of effort to be able to set it up this way, but it's got to get, the settings have to go in correctly. So I'm surprised that Mario said he hasn't seen any other accounts that have been set up this way. Like, what we're doing is a very unique case. This is why there's no other software that has been out there that can do what we're looking to do, because our organizational structure is so different. Okay, so we're good with weekly. Now, when you want to join it, we put a direct Zoom link here as well. So you always want your prospects to join here so that you can get tracking on it. But this is for you to join, or it's an emergency in case someone can't get in. One of the things about these business briefings is your prospect needs to register prior to the event starting. Okay, because otherwise, if the time slot will disappear. So they need to have registered before the event starts, and then they're going to get a join link that's for them, and they can join at any time. They can join late. They just need to make sure they register before the event starts. Then we've got the Prism webinars. The tour is something I've been playing with. It's not something that's up to date right now, but it's something that we're kind of playing with as a tool. We used it a couple times. We've got the anyone wants to know where's the scanner income stuff. All the projection sheets are there. I did just update it there. So I've got a friend of mine that's a hedge fund manager, and he went and updated them for us. And so I'll make sure that those are updated. Mike, if you can also send that over to Deborah too, as a list. Here's your calendar link. So if you want to send a 15-minute calendar invite to somebody, you just click this, and then you just send it with someone. You just share this link. So that's how this back office works. You're just clicking on what you want to do, and then you're just sharing the link. And then down below, we've got some distributor support stuff. Our team calendar, that's been a challenge to manage. And so what we're going to be doing is, in our communities, we're going to have a team calendar. And then that way we'll have somebody on the team that can post to that calendar. So any new and updated events, they'll make sure that that's update. And then we've got our Facebook groups here, which we're going to keep them up for now. The MDS one, which is actually the GHUSA one, but we will decide if we're going to, how long we're going to support that, so we don't have to manage 2 of them. Scan operator handbook is in the back here. Your courses are here, which will get moved to our communities, so that will make it easier. How to prospect on LinkedIn is here. The art of inviting is here. India information is here. And then here's a lot of this down here is kind of redundant from what's on the top. How do you do job posting? Okay, so this is basically, most of the stuff you're going to use is in the black area. And the most popular things are you're going to do your on-demand business briefings, your Prism funnel, your weekly business briefings. Those are probably going to be the 3 links that you're going to use the most. Because all we're doing here is we're creating contacts, we're inviting them to take a look at a presentation, and we're following up with them. So Blue Sun is designed to help you do that. It's designed for you to send someone an invitation to watch a presentation on demand or live, collect their information, hopefully they'll fill out a survey, which they don't always do, and then you'll have a follow-up appointment for them. Right? That's really all this is doing in an efficient way. Is invite, present, follow up. And then it's keeping track of your contacts for you.
Steve, I'm still just learning this, but when I was just playing with it and I went to the website and actually acted like I was a new person being invited to it, I filled out the form. I looked at some things and I got out. Next time I went in it, I had to fill out the form again. The same user has to refill out the form every time.
Yeah, the reason for that, so that's a setting in the system. If the issue that can happen is if the setting fills it out automatically, the system will then overwrite that person's contact information with whatever they filled out new, right? So let's say that you're on your phone and you hand your phone to somebody and they fill out the form, then it is going to overwrite your contact. And then if you give it to the next, it'll start overwriting contact. So what we did is we have it set up where they have to fill it out every time.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second here, guys. Okay. Yeah. So that's why it's there, just because we ran into more issues if we pre-filled it out, because there's a CRM in the background of it. We don't want to overwrite contacts. Like that happened at a trade show once when we were testing it. Every time I gave my phone to somebody and they filled out that form again, it just kept overwriting the contact. And I had one contact of the last one and all the other ones were missing. So we want to prevent that from ever happening. And that's why they have to fill it out every time. Okay, Tom?
Yep.
Okay.
Understand.
Also, what happens is whenever they fill it out, it also triggers different automations too. So it notifies you that they're in there. When they fill out the join link, the reason they have to fill out that form again is because that's how the system knows that your prospect is joining. So it notifies you. All right. Any other questions? Akeisha, was this helpful or do you feel a little overwhelmed?
No, it's really good. I know someone who uses this backend software and there's a free group just for like headaches. So thankfully I have like a group of 15 women who just are like at the whim to get things set up. But the stuff that we don't know what the backend is set up for, they couldn't help me troubleshoot that. So
yeah.
Thank you very much for taking the time to troubleshoot that with me.
Yeah, this is designed to prevent you from getting into the weeds of this software, because literally the learning curve to even use this is years if you're really good. So and then there are things that will drive you crazy that will take you hours to troubleshoot, that once you know it, it's a 2-minute fix, like your calendar thing. Like that took me 2 seconds to fix. It took me months to figure out how to actually set that up properly. So yeah. So we have it set up where you don't have to go through the brain damage. You have to set it up and learn how to use it instead of trying to develop everything. So, but if you guys want to develop, you can just develop outside of the Get Healthy USA stuff, because we don't want you to break anything in there. Okay. All right. Thanks guys for being on. Appreciate you. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.